Hey everybody, this is Joseph Pasek and welcome to the Fired Up Network. Welcome to a special World Cup today with great soccer coach for York University men and ladies, Carmen ISACCO. The World Cup draw was took place today in Washington. Dignitaries there, the Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, the President of Mexico, and of course Donald J. Trump was there, the President of the United States. He got an award there, and they had first of all Andrea Bocelli. I don't know if you watched it. Well, you watched it. Andrea Bocelli was amazing, right, Carmen?
Yeah, just amazing what he does, and yeah, probably the best performers of the day.
All right, and of course they had Kevin Hart and Heidi Klum there as the host. Now I'm going to get to the groups now here. Group A, Mexico as the co-host. They'll have their first match June 11th in Mexico versus South Africa, South Korea, and the winner of playoff D in UEFA is the fourth. Now, that playoff D is Denmark, North Macedonia, Czechia, or Ireland. Group B, Canada. Their first match at BMO Field will happen June 12th against UEFA Playoff A. Qatar and Switzerland. Playoff A is Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales, Bosnia or Herzegovina. It may be Canada, Italy. If it is, Carmen, are you Canadian or are you Italian?
I'm not going to answer that question.
You know
Yeah,
where you're
it'll
going
be.
with that one. You know where you're going with that one, all right? So that's the truth. But let's, I don't know if you don't want it. Let's say you don't want Italy. That means Italy's not in the World Cup. So
No,
it's
no, 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 no. I definitely want Italy to be there. I definitely think that Toronto, Italy, and Toronto will be a historic, meaningful game because Toronto is I want to say, the fourth largest
yeah.
city outside of Rome, populated by Italians. So, and albeit I was first generation Italian, there's a lot of second and third generation Italians right now. But when it comes to soccer, when it comes to football, the Italians, it's kind of an inexplicable pride, an inexplicable passion. So but we've got to translate that passion and bring it to the Canadians as well. So it's going to be a special day in Toronto. I tell you what, it's so meaningful in every way. It's kind of like a whole coming together of galaxies to produce an incredible story. And you know what? Canada could definitely beat them.
And even if they don't beat them, let's hope for a tie, and then they go on with a point to take on these other teams. So that's it. Now let's get to Group C: Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland. Group D, again, United States, Paraguay, Australia, and the winner of playoff C, which includes Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, or Kosovo. Group E, Germany, Carrasco, Ivory Coast, and Ecuador. Group F, Netherlands, Japan. Playoff B, Tunisia. And playoff B is Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, or Albania. Belgium, Egypt, Ireland, New Zealand in Group G. Group H, Spain, Cote d'Ivoire, Saudi Arabia, and or Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. And Group I, France, Senegal, International Playoff 2, Norway, and it's either Iraq, Bolivia, or Suriname. Argentina, Group J, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. Group K, finally, it will be Portugal, International Playoff 1, Uzbekistan, and Colombia. Playoff 1 is Congo, Jamaica, or North Caledonia. Group L, England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. And of course, we'll know exactly the matchups tomorrow, Saturday at noon. So now you know which groups, and we don't know 6 teams or whatever. Now, I'm going to, maybe it's too early to say this, but let's go, Carmen. Who's your pick to come out of Group A? Is it Mexico? Is it South Africa, South Korea, or playoff winner in D?
I tell you what, playing in Mexico is just it's an incredible experience because of the air quality, because of the altitude, because of the constant buzz of the city that just. So I can't see Mexico not doing well in their own country, although Korea is going to be a formidable opponent as well. But the other two are, I mean, I would say minnows, but it's going to be a good group, but it's incredibly difficult to play in Mexico City.
All right, Group B, as you know, Canada, will say Italy for sake of it, Qatar and Switzerland. So, okay, Italy, we talked about the first matchup. Qatar, Canada, it's okay match. Canada should prevail in this one, and Switzerland a little bit harder match. But what do you say?
No, I mean, I think it's a great draw for Canada. I think it's a great draw for Canada, and assuming, which there's a lot to assume, because Italy still needs to win 2 games to get out of that group, and they haven't been in the World Cup since 2014, so it's not a slam dunk. But yeah, it's a good group for Canada. I think they'll match up well with the Swiss, although the Swiss are going to be a formidable opponent, a very experienced opponent. Qatar, I think, all things considering, should be an easier game for us. Should be a game where we take it to them, and I think it's just going to be Canada's a very difficult team to play against. Very difficult team to break down. Very difficult team to match physically. And I think that regardless of what team comes out of the European playoff, it's going to be very difficult for them to match the athleticism of the Canadian team, and they have depth now. There's going to be competition in the right back spot between Nico Seeger or Alistair Johnson. Where do you put Alphonso Davies? Do you move him higher, because you're not taking Richie Laryea off the field? Do you move him higher? In that 4-4-2-ish system. With Jonathan David and who becomes the next striker? Is it Tanny? Is Larin going to have a resurgence? Or where do you put Ali Ahmed, who's probably going to be top 11 in the MLS this year? So there's all kinds of question marks, but it's good question marks and it's good depth.
So, with Canada, let's hope not only they score more than 1 goal, let's hope they get out of the first group, and let's hope maybe they move it into round of 16, because last 4 years ago, it was, they scoring a big accomplishment. They accomplished a lot, but now we expect a little bit of, going further in the tournament there and all that. So let's go to quickly. Let's talk about Group C: Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland. Is it Brazil's group to lose? I guess he's having technical difficulties. Can you hear me, Carm? I guess we lost Carm for a second there. Hopefully he'll come back here and all that. So, let's hopefully get Carm back as soon as possible. But again, Group C it's in my opinion, Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland. It's Brazil, Morocco coming out of that division, and Group D: U.S., Paraguay, Australia, and the winner of Group C. It looks like it should be USA's group, but Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, or Kosovo. I think Paraguay, Australia will fight for the second, and the rest of the teams will fight for third place there. Now in Group E, Germany, Glasgow, Ivory Coast, and Ecuador. I think this may be the easiest group there. Germany should prevail, and I think Ecuador gets the second in that group there. Netherlands, Japan, UEFA playoff B, and Tunisia. Netherlands should win this. Japan should be second, and Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, or Albania. Sweden could make it as the third, but we'll never know. And I think Carmen's coming back right now. Carmen, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Carm? I guess he can't even hear me.
What's that?
You
Sorry
can't?
about that. Do
Can
you
you
want to
hear me?
start over?
Yeah, no. We're going. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So I just previewed Group C, but let's quickly go Group C and D. I did Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland. Who's your pick, first and second?
Oh, Brazil and Morocco.
Okay, and Group D, U.S., Paraguay, Australia, and Playoff C, which is Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, and Kosovo.
I'm gonna say U.S. and Turkey if they get through, but if they don't, Paraguay.
Okay, and Group E, this is probably the easiest group. Germany, Carrasco, Ivory Coast, and Ecuador. I think it's Germany and Ecuador.
Sure. Are we doing this? Are we doing a show? Or we're gonna.
Yeah,
Or
we're
we're just
doing a show. We're on a show here. We're on a show here. You're not dealing with Norm Rumack, who doesn't know nothing. You continue on here. Come on.
okay.
Netherlands,
My bad. My bad. I
Netherlands,
didn't.
Japan, playoff B, which is Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, or Albania, and Tunisia. I think Netherlands and probably Japan. What do you say?
Yeah, that sounds fair. But whoever comes out of that group is going to be a tough opponent. Like Poland is Lewandowski, and they've had a lot of success at the Euros. So I wouldn't take things for granted for neither Japan or the Netherlands. I think it's going to be a tough group with a Poland for sure, or Ukraine.
This is an interesting group. Group G: Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. Belgium, I think, wins the group, but second, third, I don't know who you got there.
I think Iran is very, very prepared for World Cups historically. Belgium should come out of the group, although they're a bit of an aged group, and obviously their superstars are kind of getting older, and so let's say I want to say Belgium and Iran.
All right. Group H: Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. Spain and Uruguay, would you say?
Yeah, I think Spain and Uruguay are the two. I think Uruguay's just so prepared for international competition that they get through the group at the least.
Okay, and then Group I is France, Senegal, International Playoff 2, which is Iraq, Bolivia, or Suriname, and Norway. I think France wins that, and it's a toss-up for second
Uh,
place.
I think Norway's through, whether it's first or
Okay.
second. I think they're one of the up and coming teams. Obviously, Erling Holland and they've got a good group. And you've seen what they did to an Italian team. They absolutely dismantled them both games, home and away.
All right, so Group
So
J, Argentina.
I think that,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Okay, Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan.
I say Argentina and Austria strong group as well. But I'm going to say Argentina, Austria.
Portugal, International Playoff 1, which is Congo, Jamaica, or New Caledonia, Uzbekistan, and Colombia. Can you hear me? I guess we lost Carmen again. So hopefully he comes back on here, and hopefully we're ready. And I think there's one more group to talk about, but it's the last group is L: England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. I think England could go there with Croatia, but we'll see if Carmen comes back. We can ask him there. Again, the World Cup starts June 11th. Canada's game is June 12th. June 18th and June 24th, 18 and 24 in BC Place Stadium in Vancouver. BC Place Stadium in Vancouver, the group stage, June 11th to June 27th. Round of 32, June 28th to July 3rd. Round of 16, July 4th to 7th. Quarterfinals, July 8th to 11th. Semifinals, July 14th and 15th. Third place, July 18th. And the World Cup final happens at East Rutherford, New Jersey, MetLife Stadium on July the 19th. World Cup 2026. Hopefully, we'll be joined back by Carmen here because we have just a couple more things to talk about with Carm here. Carm, I just want to, before we close it out, I want to talk about kicking it with York United, or York FC, or now Inter Toronto, and then we'll preview quickly the MLS. But what do you think of Inter Toronto as the new brand, as the new name?
Yeah, I think that's where the owners want to be. I think they want to be a Toronto-based club. I think they're seeing what's happening with TFC, and then TFC will always have their supporters for sure. Good, bad, ugly. But I think that they want to kind of try and move into Lamport Stadium eventually. Try to be in the middle of the city. Try to develop that kind of internal rivalry. Thus, Inter FC. So I think that's their belief. They want to be in the big city. They want to compete with the big, and they think that they could make it. A Man United, a Man City, a Liverpool Everton type rivalry. There's lots of room. There's lots of fans in Toronto to do that. So I think I think if they get it right, they spend some money in some right places, whether it's on facility, whether it's on resources, whether it's on players, whether it's on media. I think they can compete. They can do well in Toronto. But again, saying that, they're probably going to be at York University for at least 2 years because there isn't a venue to play at right now.
And are they building a venue, or?
I think they were looking at Lamport Stadium. I think they're looking for the city to kind of support it. Obviously, Lamport Stadium is many, many years old. Yeah. And it's not in kind of condition to host professional organization or even a professional game. For the city, it's very useful. They have their recreational stuff going on all year round there. So it's going to be a tough sell to the city, and I think they're going to have to make a big investment to get Lamport Stadium. Is there an Etobicoke Stadium in the works? Maybe, we'll see. Are they going to parlay some of the fields that FIFA or Canada Soccer are building as training facilities? Maybe Etobicoke Centennial. I think they have a lot of options, but I don't think they have a lot of clarity. But they did mention Lamport Stadium, and that's a good venue. But it's a good venue, and I think that the price tag to renovate that venue is going to be massive.
Yeah, it's going to be, and I was in the press box. There's filled with syringes, put it that way. Okay, so they gotta clean up the press box and all that. All right, so there's another big match tomorrow. MLS Cup takes place, and arguably, okay, you got Messi, Miami. A lot of people said they're going to go to the final, but how many people thought Vancouver would be in the final? And a lot of people are thinking Vancouver are going to romp. That's what I hear throughout. Vancouver will beat Messi, will beat Miami and all that. The match is at 2:30. It's Vancouver in Miami. Who do you got for that one?
Well, Vancouver did beat them twice this year. Vancouver has they get their top CB back, their top center back Blackman from the red card. They're still Priestle's done an honorable job. I think what's going to maybe come back and bite them is the finishing third, right? Getting less points than Miami. They were in first place all year in the Community Shield standings, or the Supporters Shield, excuse me. They were first place all year, and they just kind of dropped a few games in. But they've been amazing on the road. They already beat Miami in the CONCACAF Champions League. This is going to be their third final of the year. They're going to be very prepared. They're a team of destiny. They know after the debacle in Mexico how to handle the situations. I think, they're a team of continuity, of character, of proper mentality. If there's any team that's going to beat Miami, it's them. And I think that it's going to be basically not giving up goals, because they're a strong transitional team. They're strong when they have the ball, Vancouver. They're strong when they break people down. They can do it with possession. They can do it with direct play. The best striker probably in North America right now is Brian White. For me, the most impactful player and the best winger so far has been Ali Ahmed. So they're going to have to contain him. But Miami's not the team to kind of worry about their opponent. And Vancouver, I think, is the team that's prepared for their opponent. They're prepared defensively. They've done it twice already. So, again, I think it's going to be a game of Vancouver having the ability to defend 30 yards from goal, obviously having the ability to defend Messi, not only, his on the ball, but his off the ball movement, quick off the ball movement. It's going to be about taking away spaces. It's going to be about a very compact team, but they've got a lot of weapons. Allende's been amazing for Miami. Suarez is always a threat, whether he's coming off the bench or he's starting. It's a real young team as well, but in the back they're susceptible. They're going to give up goals. And there's going to be 3 players or 4 players that aren't going to defend at all. I'm going to say, I'm not going to make it a prediction, but I think Vancouver has the wherewithal to do it, and I think they have some character players for sure.
So Messi, how bad do you think he wants an MLS Cup? Of course, he got everything. He's now won the World Cup and every cup you could think of. But how bad do you think he wants an MLS Cup?
This is his team. This is Messi's team. From players to organization, this is Messi's based on it. And win the top title, and he hasn't built his grandeur. This is Messi's World Cup right now. 100%. This is huge for him.
All right. As we close it out here, the World Cup drawing and all that, I forgot to mention they had an all-star cast. Tom Brady picking the balls, Shaq picking the balls, Aaron Judge picking the balls, and hockey great Wayne Gretzky picking the balls there. So it's a lot of fanfare and all that. I'm going to ask you this. We're about, now he's gone. We're about, I would say little over 6 months, 7 months from the World Cup. I was going to ask him for his World Cup final prediction, and let's hope he comes back here in a couple seconds. If not, we'll shut it off, and we'll get Carmen back on soon. But again, Canada's first match, June 12th, BMO Field, could be against Italy. Canada, Italy, first match there. Really, really something to behold if Italy makes it and plays Canada. And what about if Canada upsets Italy? Because I would say it's an upset. So what about if Canada plays Italy and Canada upsets Italy? So could be interesting to see there. And, they're working right now on BMO Field to expand it to at least 46,000 fans and everything like that, and put proper gas in and everything like that. But let's hope. I was going to ask you last question as we close it out. We better close it out or you're going to cut off everything here. I know it's 6 months away, but give me your World Cup favorite. And don't say Italy. They're not even in the World Cup yet.
No, I don't think the Italians are in a place as far as individual players yet, or as a collective. I don't think they're at the right place. I do think it's going to probably be a European team to win the World Cup this time. I don't think Argentina is as strong defensively. You've seen Martinez as well in goal. They'll show a little bit of a kind of letdown for Aston Villa. So I don't think they're strong defensively, and obviously the Messi factor is 39 years old. So that's a big issue.
Yeah.
So
You're coming off of
the European team. My question is European team. France, Spain. Let's say Spain. Spain is going to win the World Cup.
See, now you got to see. And by the way, if it's Canada and Italy on June 12th, let's go to Nino da Versa, invite John Nelson, and I'll pay. If John Nelson comes, I will pay for Nino da Versa and John Nelson and Carmen ISACCO talking footy, and how I like how everybody on this ceremony was saying it's football. It's not soccer. It's football. Till Wayne Gretzky calls it soccer. All right? So put it that way, okay? So, again.
Poor Wayne.
Yeah, poor Wayne, and all that. We're, again, 6 months away from, I'm going to say this, probably the biggest event in Canadian sports history. Do you agree?
100% agree. There's 100%. It's on every international stage. It's
and for those, I know Giancarlo and I know Storm and Norman and all that are counting on Carmen ISACCO and Dave Rumack to provide us tickets to go to the World Cup, because it's going to be like $12,000 a pair. You know what? You could give me the tickets, and I'll just talk to my buddy Guido, and we'll do something, right, Carm?
Got you. I got you, Joe.
All right. So, and here's the other thing. Last question. Let's talk about your teams, how they're doing, and gearing up the Christmas holiday season.
Yeah, it's holiday season. We're having some fun, enjoying our national championship victory, getting together, and for some of our players, hopefully they go the pro route. So it might be for the last time as a team, as a full team. So yeah, we're trying to enjoy each other, enjoy the group, get on some fields, get a little kickabout, but it's still early doors for next season. But we're just all excited with the draw today, all excited with the MLS final, all excited with what's going to be happening in our backyard, which is fantastic.
All right, and I'm inviting you on Worldwide TV. I'm inviting you to come and light the menorah for Hanukkah and give me 8 geld. Not 1, not 2, 8. 8 geld. You come on. You're like a Jew. Come on. Okay? You're like a Jew. You bring me 8 geld, and I'll tell Norm to give you $20 worth of gifts for Christmas.
No politics here. We saw enough politics with Trump winning the FIFA Peace Prize.
Yeah, what was that all about? What was that all about? And he doesn't shake. He comes on the stage the third time, and he goes by Infantino. He doesn't even shake his hand.
I don't know. There's going to be a lot of memes and a lot of stuff going on about Infantino, but he's got to do what he's got to do to promote the game. Whether it's integrity or not. He's doing what he has to do to promote the game. That's his job as FIFA president. And he did say that they're the association that brings more happiness to more people in the world. Well, I don't know if it's FIFA. I think it's the game. I think it's the beautiful game that does that.
And all honesty, middle of June in America and Mexico and Canada. Just everybody have fun, witness sports like you're never going to see it in North America, and be safe. Don't start riots and don't start fights and don't start breaking stuff. only if Canada wins. Okay, then I'll get Norm's a security guard. I'll get Norm on there, and he'll security, and Carm, you just hold them back and everything like that. But again, this is the greatest event in, I would say, North America, but especially in Canada. Go out, celebrate it, and if you have a little bit of shekels, keep it, watch it on TV, don't spend it, or invest it in Fired Up Network. Any last comments, Carm?
No last comments. Sorry about all the technical difficulties. No, it's going to be a great World Cup. Some great. We didn't talk about the group of death, which I think is
Which
France.
one? Yeah, that's my last question.
France, Senegal, Norway for me is, and the English don't have it easy either. But there's going to be some surprises, some not surprises. I mean, nice to see New Zealand in the World Cup, automatic bid. It will see.
He's cutting out again, so might as well just close this out again for Carmen ISACCO. Let's tune in to the Fired Up Network, radio and TV here, and we'll be back soon to discuss the World Cup. Thanks a lot, guys.